Now today, in this session, we will see about what exactly the viscometers are and how does this viscometers will be working and how we can measure the viscosity. So the viscosity is the property of the fluid which offers resistance to the fluid motion, So that is what the general when you are talking about the viscosity. Now the question comes, so how do we measure the viscosity? How do we measure the viscosity means we can use the viscometers. This is one such example we are writing it here. So that is we are talking about the Redwood viscometer. We are talking about the Redwood viscometer. So the Redwood viscometer, how does the construction looks like? First of all, let us detail about the construction we have for the Redwood viscometer, and then we will see how it will be working in this. So as far as the construction of this one is concerned, we have a completely a cylindrical flask. We have a cylindrical flask with a partition in this. So that means we have a two concentric cylinders in this. We have a two concentric cylinders inside the Redwood viscometer. So one it is the outer one and inner one, outer one and the inner one. So where outer diameter is larger and inner diameter is smaller, and outer side, if you see outer side flask, there we have filled with the water, where I'm hatching with the red color. So there it is being filled with the water. So this let me change the color to blue. So this completely is filled with the water. So the outer casing is filled with the water and the inner casing. Now, as we said, there are two casings or the two concentric circles or two concentric cylinders available inside this one. So now talking about the inner casing. So in the inner casing we have a oil to be placed inside this one. So the inner flask need to be filled with the oil and outer flask need to be filled with the water. Now the question comes, okay, as far as the construction is concerned, so we have here outer flask with the water, inner flask with the oil filling container. And now the question comes, sir, why water is being filled? Why water is filled and why inside the oil is filled? So now as far as this construction is concerned, so let us detail about the construction, then we will see why water outside and why oil inside. And in order to check the temperature of this one, so we have two thermometers placed inside this one. So thermometer 1 and thermometer 2. Thermometer 1 and the thermometer 2, we can place it inside this one. And so whereas the thermometer 1 is measuring the temperature inside the water, that is temperature in the outside flask, and whereas another thermometer is measuring the temperature in the oil flask. So in these two flasks, now if you see, there at the bottom of this viscometer, we have an opening. There is at this particular location, let me annotate it. So at this bottom location of this one, we have an opening in order to collect the oil, which is released from this particular oil sump, which is released from the oil tank or the oil sump. So from this one, so whenever the oil is being released, we can collect in this flask of, so here the flask of size 50 cubic centimeter. Flask of size, that is 50 cubic centimeter flask, we have placed it on this one. Now what is the working procedure of this viscometer? So the working procedure of this viscometer is, outside we are filled with the water, inside we are filled with an oil, for which we are supposed to determine the viscosity. We are filled with the oil which is supposed to determine the viscosity of it. In order to determine the viscosity of this particular given oil, what we are doing is, so we have filled with water outside, and there the water is being conducted with a heat, and there it is being constantly temperature is being raised in that one by this heating coil, which is converting that electrical energy into the heat energy, or the heat source is available inside this one. So the outer flask is increasing the temperature, and by conducting that heat through these walls, to the inner container or the oil flask, by conducting that heat to the inner container or this oil flask, the oil is getting heated up. The oil will get heated up. And after rising certain temperatures, we are opening this one. So here the knob is being placed on this one. Here the knob is placed on this particular viscometer. So at this knob location, so when the desired temperature is being raised, so that means we are testing it by varying the temperatures, so we are dependent on the property of the temperature, so that we are known that initially basic principle is that whenever the oil is being raised with the temperature, the viscosity of the oil will be varied. The viscosity of the oil will be varied. By using this one, we are measuring the viscosity inside this particular oil flask. So heat is being conducted continuously by this water, and oil is collected in the flask for a given time. So by which we can talk about what is the mass flow rate of the oil released from this particular flask for filling a fixed volume of 50 cubic centimeter. For filling it of 50 cubic centimeter. So for that 50 cubic centimeter, what is the time taken for this particular oil to fill in that container? That will be noted at a different time intervals. And like this, 4 to 5 experiments we will do it, and then we will conclude about viscosity measurement with respect to the variation, and then we will plot the viscosity variation by using the relation of the viscometer, the Redwood viscometer, that is AT minus B by T is equal to C. So where A and B are remained constant and T remains the time interval. T is the time interval or the time taken to fill the flask of 50 cubic centimeter. By relating that one, we can determine the kinematic viscosity. Of the given oil, and by converting that kinematic viscosity into the dynamic viscosity also can be determined by using this viscometer. There are a number of viscometers available in the market, or based upon the application. Based upon the applications, we have different types of viscometers in market that can be utilized best in order to determine the viscosity of the given oil. Let us see how exactly this viscometer is going to work. Let us see how the viscometer is going to work in this video. So here we can see that up to the mark oil is being filled, and after that we are closing with the lid. And the lid has an opening for the thermometer to place it inside that one. One, it is inside the oil flask, and another one which is inside the water flask. So that means in two concentric cylinders, the thermometer will be placed, so that it is in the outside bath and the another one is for the inside bath. So when we are now the question comes for how the heat will be raised inside this one. So when we are conducting the heat by the electrical energy, so that electrical energy is converted into the heat energy. Here you can see that the equipment named thermostat. So using this equipment, when we are continuously supplying that heat energies, so that is in the form of electrical energy which is being conducted to the heating coils, through which the heat is being conducted inside that one. And by conducting the heat, we we are continuously, the heat will be incremented inside that one, and the heat will be incremented in that one. And during this procedures, we will be utilizing even that external flask will be arranged with a stirrer like a blades inside this one. So by continuous stirring of this using a knob there, so we can get a uniform distribution of the heat supplied inside that viscometer, and here you see the flask is placed exactly at a location where that opening is available. So thereby, in order to open that one, so that means when the desired temperature is reached, so just remove that knob from it and make sure that your oil is falling on the walls of the flask but not at the center line of it, and start measuring the time taken for it to fill 50 cubic centimeter of the oil to be collected inside that flask. And once your procedure is done, so repeat that procedure for a number of intervals, and by which you can determine the viscosity of the given oil, by using the Redwood viscometer. Similarly, we'll be having another equipment named Seibold's viscometer. Viscometer. Using that also we can determine the viscosity of the given oil. So this is a very easy method in order to determine the viscosity of the given oil to use. So like a lubricant oil or vegetable oil. So whatever the oil given to us, so that should be available within the temperature limits of the Redwood viscometer. So with that we can easily determine the viscosity of the given oil. So this is how a viscometer will be working, and the functioning of the viscometer with the construction we have detailed here in this one. Let us see next about the Reynolds experiment. So what is the Reynolds experiment? Prior to this one, what is Reynolds experiment? We should know what is the Reynolds number. We should know what is the Reynolds number is. The Reynolds number is a ratio of inertia forces to the viscous forces. As we all know that Reynolds number is the ratio of inertia forces to the viscous forces. So where Reynolds number, if it is the ratio of the inertia forces to the viscous forces, now what exactly the Reynolds experiment is about is, so now our interest is why we are interested in the Reynolds experiment actually, right?